Coming home from Nashville yesterday, reflecting on the weekend a little bit. If it wasn't for one inning, it would have been a great weekend. But overall, it was a good weekend. We got ourselves back on track offensively a little bit. In the pitching circle, Brooke Craig and Jackie Spencer did a great job for us this weekend, and so did Emma Olenczak. Like I said, it was just the one inning. We put up 5 runs against Belmont and kind of thought it was in the bag. And I guess it was a learning experience for some of our younger kids that even though you just put a 5 spot on somebody doesn't mean that they can't turn around and do it right back to you. And you got to make sure that you're ready to close the door on a team. And we weren't ready to do that. Walks and errors will kill you. They always do, and they certainly kill you when they come in bunches and you have multiple walks and multiple errors in one inning. And we allowed Belmont to take advantage of the situation, and they did. But we responded on Sunday. I feel like it was a good learning experience for them, maybe a little bit more of an eye-opener than losing to an Alabama or a Florida State, just because, you feel like you had a little bit more control in the situation and you let your guard down. So I think overall a good learning experience for us this weekend. And we're going to have to build on that going forward. This week we've got to go back inside and get our work in. We were hoping for a little bit better weather when we got back to maybe get outside and get some things done, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to, so we'll be back inside and hopefully sharpen up on some things and get ready for this weekend going down to Kansas. We're going to face some really good competition down there as well with Nebraska, KU, Tulsa, and then we've got Wisconsin, Green Bay, and UMKC, both teams that we played the first week of the season. So I think every game that we're going to play down there is going to be a good gauge for us to see kind of where we're at. Obviously, with the Big 12 teams and the Big 10 teams, we're gonna get a good challenge. And we've also got a couple of teams that we've played already early that we'll kind of see, have we made some strides forward? Have we done some things better? And seeing where they've gone as well, kind of match up with, a team that you played early in the year and see where we're at this point. Obviously, UMKC got the best of us in that first weekend at home. So looking forward to playing them again. But the biggest thing for us is to, just to continue that early season process of getting as many games in as we can. I think we've spread out our at-bats across the board to a lot of different people. A lot of people are getting opportunities, creating some really good depth in our program and our team right now, and looking forward to continuing that. I think being versatile, we have that ability to move people around and getting people as much experience at the plate as we possibly can. I think maybe 2 of the 5 games this weekend, I think almost every person played in each game. So it's good to see everybody contributing and accepting their role and being ready for their number when it's called on. So any questions?
What are some of those things that this week you want to try and clean up or shore up, fix up a little bit before you go this weekend?
Well, I think overall, offensively, we need to clean up. Not really clean up, but just get a little bit more of an aggressive mindset. I think, when the ball is thrown over the plate, there's no question that they're ready to hit those pitches. But the better pitching that we've seen so far and that we've struggled with a little bit is able to nibble those corners a little bit and get those borderline calls. And we're not swinging at those early in the count. And that's when an umpire is going to give that to a really good pitcher, that's the pitch you got to look for. Even though it may not look great to you, you got to be able to handle it and do your work with it. And I think that's where we need to expand a little bit. We have to definitely clarify it. We don't want to start swinging crazy at everything, but we need to know that we can hit that pitch. We need to know that we can do damage with that pitch. And instead of it looking bad, we need to know if we've got to adjust and that's got to be the pitch we're looking for today, then we can be able to hit it. I think that's the big thing offensively. In the circle, I feel like we just still need to stay sharp. We need to continue to aim small and miss small, compete, throw hard. I feel like our velocities maybe were down a little bit this week. but be able to continue to move the ball and locate. That's the one thing that our pitchers did early really well, is locate and making sure that we stay sharp there. Not a lot we can do defensively with everything going on in the dome this week, so we're going to have to kind of maybe go back to basics and do some fundamental stuff, some mechanics work, some glove work, some things like that, and stay sharp as we can and make sure that our legs and our feet aren't getting heavy. So do a lot of things like that. Be creative, but across the board, that's what we're looking to do in all of our aspects there.
This team isn't loaded with home run hitters. You got 5 home runs in 20 games. Is it more of a small ball type team, bunting, stealing? Is that the way you manufacture more runs?
It seems to get this team a lot more excited than it ever has before. I don't know if it's because we focused on it a little bit more than we ever have, but we've been getting things going a lot more with a sac bunt or a hit and run or reading a dirt ball. Something like that gets this team a little bit more energized and fired up than the long ball. And obviously I don't think the swings that we're taking right now are gonna create too many long balls. I do think once we get back home and we get a little bit of wind and some things that happen that way, and we get a little bit more comfortable with taking more aggressive hacks, I think they'll come around. I don't think this is going to be a team that sets the home run record or anything, but I think it'll be very competitive, and we'll hit our fair share of them. But it's not something that, right now we're sitting back and waiting for a 2 or 3 run homer. I feel like when we get base runners, we got to be ready to execute and do some things and move people around. But the number of RBIs that we have right now at this point in the season is way better than we've ever had before. I mean, we've got a couple of kids already at 15 or more. And across the board, it's spread out. I mean, we're almost at 100 RBIs already. And if you look at some of the other offensive teams in our league, they're probably, not quite there yet. So from a scoring run standpoint, we're still scoring runs. We're scoring a lot of runs. We're leaving a lot of people on base as well. But I think from, that home run standpoint, yeah, it's sure frustrating to me because I like seeing the ball go out of the ballpark, but I also like seeing runs go up on the board. So we're just trying to figure out how to do things well. I think six out of 7 hit and runs we've executed this year. I don't know that we've tried 7 hit and runs in past years. So like I said, this team gets energized by that, and as long as we keep executing it, it might be something that has other teams in our league have to make an adjustment on us, and so it might create a little problem for other people.
Past years, Ryan, you've had teams that kind of like sit back and wait, maybe to the middle innings to kind of gauge your competition. With this team, the numbers show you get pretty aggressive pretty early. Is that kind of a point of emphasis this year?
I feel like the top of our order is kind of our go-to right now. The top 3 kids in our order are the ones that kind of our spark, and they have the ability to do that right out of the gate. I think some of the other hitters in our lineup like to kind of test the waters a little bit before they get after it. Those 3 definitely don't need that. They're ready to go right from the get-go. So getting out to a good start with them gives those other kids confidence right away. But those 3 at the top of there's not a pitch that those 3 don't like very often. So they're ready to go, and it kind of gets our offense jump-started that way.
Going into this past weekend, you'd lost 5 in a row. How good was it just to see your team bounce back and win 4 or 5?
It was great to see. It was great to see that they didn't lose their confidence. They didn't see. They're not looking at the wins and losses. They're just showing up every day and doing the right things and playing the game the right way. Listening to us as coaches saying that the wins and losses will take care of themselves in the right way if you handle your business every day in the right way. So it's good to see that and reinforce that to them. And, hopefully we'll have even a better week of practice this week as we, prepare for another tough weekend. All right. Thank you.